I got to go to Chicago. I got Yvonne. Yvonne, what's going on?
Hi, Sarah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good to connect with you. And my goodness, you got a lot of twos going on around you in a year of a 2022. So you might be vibing in the twos this year. For
Thank
sure.
Okay.
It is a time for you to take a look at life as balanced as possible. How can I live this balanced expression and surrender and let all that doesn't serve me go to the heavens and kind of ground myself in what I want? Yvonne, how's the weather in Chicago?
We're cold. We are cold today. We
I
are
am
really
so
cold, Sarah.
sorry. But hopefully that'll be a short-lived cold this year, and maybe your winter will be a little short. We're going to hope that the groundhogs, I don't know, sees its shadow or doesn't see its shadow so we can have spring, whatever groundhogs do. Yvonne, what's your question for me tonight?
Okay, I've got two, but my first question I wrote in last week. My great-nephew, my niece's son, was murdered on January 10th. He was the second homicide in St. Paul. I know he's trying to say something. His birthday was April 3rd, 1986, Sarah. And I feel him. We're going to bury him on this Saturday. The family is all crazy because we don't know what happened.
We don't know what happened. And he was murdered, was it outside a location, please?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
It was outside.
I see something outside a location. This is what they're showing me. There's two people there at the time. And it seems to be some kind of vendetta or something. I don't even see it as random. I see it as some kind of bad blood between people. So it's not even random. There's something connected to other people in the circle, and there's some kind of vendetta.
Oh, my gosh.
Does this make any sense to you, Yvonne?
I think it does. I was talking to his sister. I've been talking all day, but I think it does.
Okay.
I think it does, yeah.
All right. I will tell you this, as I get from my guides, he didn't suffer. It was something that he lost consciousness, and everything after that he wasn't a part of. So he left his body in a very quick manner. So the way we view suffering, he did not suffer. Totally unexpected. They make me aware, does he have, is there a child connected to him or a younger brother? What is that, please?
He's got he's got two sons.
Okay.
Older son, I think he's like 10 or 11, but the baby
that's who they're showing me, the baby, yes. This is really difficult transition for the whole entire family, and just know that if he could have ever done anything to not leave that baby, he would have. But unfortunately,
he loved him.
Yes, I see the closeness because they're making me aware of a son. I am sure the older one, it means a great deal to him, but that younger baby, it was like a mirror image of him, is how they present it to me. Yvonne, does that make sense to you?
That makes sense. He loved him.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he took him up when the mother did not.
Yes.
So he loved him. Does he know who killed him? Did he know him?
Now that's a interesting story there.
Okay.
A little. Are you familiar with his friend circle and stuff? Do we know?
I am not. He was in St. Paul. His sisters are there. They grew up here with us in Chicago, and then they moved to St. Paul. But it's in the circle, isn't it?
It is in the circle, and they're giving me the letter R. So I feel like it's either this person's connected, they were there, or they know the story, the letter R. And makes me feel like it's a Robbie. That's kind of the vibe of the name feeling to me. But clearly he writes in the energy a letter R here. So I don't know that's the person who did it, but that's definitely connected to the story because he's really still in this energy of transition. So it's difficult. It's like getting a connection on cable channel that the cable isn't quite coming in, or even on a radio station where we hear the static, right? So that's the transition. And for many of them, it is that way for a while because we are in transition. But his was abrupt and sudden. And so it's it's a little shaky in the connection at this moment. He has come to you. He has been near you. You are feeling him.
I am.
And then, what is that? Did somebody take the chain off of his neck, please? What is?
Shut up! Oh my God!
Because he's talking to me about his chain. Yes.
Oh my God, Sarah! They said that someone had called his brother, his older brother, who was in Texas, and his older brother heard the conversation. That's why they thought it was a setup. And his older brother heard them say, "Get the chain."
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And that is the story. Yeah. And so that's another one of your clues, okay, that he's giving me.
Does he have a message for his sisters? They are just torn up. They don't know what to do. They are torn up. They looked up to him.
I can tell you that he is at peace, but the chain is a part of the story, and maybe when he settles in more, you and I can do a session, or maybe I can have a session with them. However we can best come to a better understanding. But we're going to let the police do their job. It is it is unfortunate. And everyone needs to remain calm, because the sense I get in the vendetta, you use the word setup, whatever the story is behind it, we don't want to ruffle too many feathers in case people feel threatened and then they try to do something else in the storyline, right? So
I will let them know.
Yeah, so they need to remain calm and yes, so whatever the brother in Texas, so kind of interesting that he even knew that. So that's the confirmation that the chain is significant in the story in the event of the murder.
Okay, and I'm going to get on your calendar because I'm still looking for a job, but this has happened and it has thrown all of us off, Sarah.
I understand.
And I know I'm going to find a job, and I feel my energy, but I feel Otis with me. Yes. I knew he wasn't at his destination yet because it happened like it did.
Yes.
And they said they shot him in the back. Yeah. Oh, my God.
And
but the doctors told...
Yeah, he didn't suffer. He did not suffer.
Right. The doctors told his mom that he didn't suffer, but there was nothing they could do. They didn't want to do surgery because it wouldn't have helped. But he went at peace.
Yeah. He didn't suffer, and the minute the impact came, his spirit left the body, so he wasn't feeling the pain like we would have thought. And it is unfortunate, and from the statistics you gave me, it sounds like that isn't something that happens there. So it's kind of a bizarre turn of events. But know that the hand of God is on everything, even that which we perceive as evil and unjust. And we trust that God will make this story right, and that everyone's hearts will heal in the journey. And give my condolences to the family.
I will. Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome.
And I will definitely get on your calendar for my personal stuff. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening to the show, and our condolences, Yvonne. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.
Bye. 888-565-1470. You know, that's a very serious story, and I'm always grateful when Spirit gives us clues. Remember that there is a story beneath the story that many of us don't know, and that's the story of God. That's woven in everyone's soul, and each one of us has an exit story that most people aren't privy to. And sometimes people have a sense. You'll hear them say things like, I don't know if I'm going to be on this earth for a long time, or I feel like I'm meant to have a short life. And people go, oh, what are you talking about? You're crazy. And then it turns out that they don't live to be 80. They pass at an age of 30 or 25. We are faced with challenges in life, and life presents us with opportunities to grow. And when we've completed whatever those stories are within our soul, then we have an exit, and our soul will rejoin in eternity to be at peace, and then have an opportunity to learn more lessons on the higher realms. And then even if those of us believe that we can come and have yet another, for there are many lives to be had, we will do that as well. One of the important questions people ask me is, well, when can I talk to my loved one, and how can I make that connection? And I have to say that it's very rare that we get a connection from someone in the very first few days or first few weeks, and sometimes even in the first few months. Sometimes they're in the ethers and they're easy to grab a hold of, but many times in their transition, that is exactly what they're in, a transition. And it would be like trying to interview people on a train that's moving, and I'm trying to run to catch up and grab bits of information from the people on the train. And really, there's a whole group of people, of soul family people, who are all there. But they, in their crossing, have to leave the physical embodiment, shed the energies, the feelings, the emotions, the things that weighed them down, and surrender all of that and step into the energy of love and light and be greeted by the most amazing versions of all their family members. And sometimes people say to me, well, they didn't like each other. Well, they will like each other when they're there because they're in the energy of love. So it's a transition. And depending on what someone goes through, it's difficult. So why is it that we were able to connect with this young man, which was Spotty, who was unfortunately, his life was taken in a murder? Well, because that energy's there, and it's like important that his family gets the story of what happened. So he's kind of trying to send through his energy the story so they find comfort and they get the answers that they need. For he's already making peace with it in his transition. So no two stories are the same. Some people take a few months. Some people have taken a year. Sometimes people come through for quite a long time and then they're not there anymore. Why? It's not that they don't want to talk to you. It's just they're going to a higher level of a higher realm of the hierarchy of the heavens. And some of them have already reincarnated. So it's quite a complicated story that goes on behind the scenes, and we do our best to make the connections.